Well, I think the first thing, it's pretty easy to tell when someone's thinking about what they want to say versus actually listening, right? And so you can use silence in a bunch of different ways. And I think people need to fool around with it. You need to give people the space so they can think and reflect, certainly depending on the disc profile person that you're talking to, for anyone familiar with disc. Um, and if you're talking to an introvert, I think, they're not gonna be all leaning in and forward and talking voraciously. So I think you have to pay attention to the type of person you're with, and I think you have to try. Just try. And, when our sales coach was coaching our team, he said, "Karen, just try. Just try." Because I have a tendency, if I already know what they're gonna say, I just wanna get on to the next thing. And I've had to really I've had to really think about, give them space.
What's DISC?
It's a personality profile that tells you different aspects, and it puts you into 4 different, buckets of whether you're a detail-oriented person, a hard driver, and sometimes it can be very helpful, either when you're doing a proposal that this person's gonna want a boatload of detail, or if you're, a high driver, mover, shaker, they just want the big
Nitty-gritty.
points, so
Yeah,
it tells you how to serve them.
interesting. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's called DISC. It's pretty well known. A lot of companies use it.
And you can identify, like, or did they give you, like, hacks to identify what the person is essentially and how to deliver information to them?
Yeah, it
Okay.
tells you a little bit about their personality style, their work style, and their expectations.
Yeah.
So it can be very helpful if you get good at picking out who's who.
Yeah, and reading the person. That makes sense.
I think a lot of these frameworks extremely helpful, right? They help you to structure your thinking, your thoughts, essentially, right? You're putting the effort in a specific way and to just define something and move forward and eventually make a next step. But a lot of frameworks, a lot of actions, people get busy. So I want to ask you this because we discussed this a couple of times before. The term chief problem solver. A lot of sales leaders are following into this trap. They supposed to be selling, they're supposed to help selling, they should do a lot of things that are related to the sales process, but they ending up somehow doing a lot of other things that are not helping them necessarily to sell. So, what would be your advice and suggestion for these leaders to avoid that trap and be more efficient?